Good morning. A friend and fraternity brother messaged me last night saying, "Hey buddy, you okay?" This is my response. "Sorry for the hour I'm replying. Just saw your message." "No, I'm not. The police and FBI have refused to follow up on crimes committed against me that I've reported and have attempted to report. The Columbus Division of Police have rejected online attempts to file reports of crime. It gets deleted out of their system. I tried calling 911 6 times over the last 2 years, and every time an officer is dispatched, they refuse to let me file anything with them. I have sent 52 either IC3 or tips to the FBI about defamation of character and collusion in the neighborhood and about the police profiling and violations of my civil rights, but they've not responded in any way. I've been tortured with a government military-grade weapon, similar to what the Havana Syndrome victims have endured. The program is called RNM, or Remote Neural Monitoring. I've lost 60% of my lower front jawbone and had extremely rapid recession of my gums and loss of tooth mass. The program also uses V2K, voice-to-skull technology, and the people using it have psychologically tortured me over a 6-year time period. None of the brothers believe anything I say and have abandoned me because they believe all my trouble is drug-related. I have proof and evidence that the crimes were committed and who did them, but the police don't pay any attention to me. The FBI hasn't followed through because I am a victim of torture, and it's a weapon they use that is illegal and given to them by the Department of Defense. I contacted dozens of media companies and believe the police have blocked exposure of my story because not a single one has returned a message inquiring about more information. The brothers don't believe that RNM exists and that I am a survivor of the truth being used. Because the FBI uses it, and there are things like fusion centers, the local law enforcement around the country, some have been given access to the program to use against innocent civilians. The entire executive branch of government uses the unconstitutional program and are threatening the stability of our government by taking away citizens' rights. I've been busy trying to educate friends and senators about the program, and it's met with harsh criticism and disbelief, even though it is real. The program uses millimeter microwave radio frequency radiation to unlock an individual's DNA resonance signature and allows the energy to penetrate through the skin. The diagram I'm going to send you is a document from the FBI, which was accidentally disclosed when a person did a Freedom of Information Act on a completely separate topic. It describes what the government is able to do with the RNM program. It sounds like science fiction, but it's real, and the program can surveillance and target any individual and lock on them to produce the physical and psychological torture. A large majority of targeted individuals, have been misdiagnosed with a mental illness, and then government and police use that excuse to cover up their crimes of using the weapon. I'm so isolated and alone fighting this battle. RJ believes me, but the rest of the brothers do not, and I thought for certain that I would be believed by my fraternity brothers. It hurts more than you know. I'm in touch with a lawyer who is going to help me with some of the lawsuits I'm going to have to file because the people using the weapon refuse to help me expose the truth. They were on the fence about it, but now they are not, because I think they are affiliated with one of the larger organizations using it. The CIA and Air Force have created this weapon, and it's only supposed to be used for war, but they let other people use it against innocent Americans to illegally obtain information, set people up, use entrapment, and conduct investigations. Sorry for the long message. It's wonderful to hear from you, and I hope you're doing well. I'm in a race against time, as the weapon is still being used on me. Guilty people are free, and the possibility of a silencing of my story is a very real threat from the Division of Police and the FBI. I've done nothing wrong or illegal for my government to treat me this way, and it's all over what I've done in the privacy of my own home. And when neighbors illegally learned about it, they all got together and decided to try to get me removed from the neighborhood. They've enlisted the help of the police to get their way. Neighbors have lied to the police to get evaluations done, and they've created 21 mental health evaluations in the last 3 years. With that evidence, the neighbors are trying to claim I need to be institutionalized so that I am legally removed from the neighborhood. What the neighbors are really wanting is for a recovering addict to move out of their home and our neighborhood. It's so fucked up. And I just want it to end, but neighbors are remaining silent and not giving me the information I need to get my torture to stop, because they are afraid of getting into trouble. Jason Milligan, Trevor Peters, and Mike Brenner, Scott Donaldson, and Jeff Egdal intervened last November. I said the only thing I need is contact with the police or preferably the FBI. I've asked for nothing from everyone except that one thing, and nobody listens to me. And they're all mad thinking it's a drug thing or a mental illness, and I'm just not facing my problems. They don't believe R&M and V2K is real, and because of that, I continue to live life as a slave, with tons of my rights being stripped of me and tortured every single day. My body and my life are in jeopardy, and at any time the program can cause blindness, heart attack, or stroke. So if the people get close to being caught, I very likely will be killed, so they can save themselves. I can't believe all this is happening just because I did drugs in the privacy of my own home. My neighbors are fucking assholes, and I wish I could move away, but then I wouldn't get resolution to the problem and get my torture to stop. The problem is all here in the neighborhood, so I'm working hard to get resolution from it and have my captors revealed. It would not be the first time that people have been caught using these types of weapons, DEWs, but my case is different because it involves an entire neighborhood, and the defamation of character and collusion is so widespread, it's affected my reputation around the city and across the United States. I suspect the neighbors think I'm dealing drugs, which of course isn't true. My neighbor across the street, I know, spoke either with Jason, Trevor, or Mike, and Mike spoke with the next door neighbor. The brothers have been dishonest with what they set up and what was said, which doesn't help me one bit. They are entrenched in the idea that they are correct about whatever was said, and I am wrong. The police have further complicated things because they go around telling people of my medical history and condition. It's a violation of HIPAA laws. And everyone believes the police, who have blocked me from reporting crimes in the first place. I was misdiagnosed by OSU and need to file for malpractice, and it's all because the psychiatrists don't believe that neighbors are harassing me and trying to get me moved out of the neighborhood. Because if they checked with the police, there is nothing on file with them. The brain witches have also fucked up my life, and I'm receiving unnecessary prescriptions and doctor's appointments because of it. My life is a shit show. I don't know what to do, and nobody is willing to help. I work hard every day of the week, for at least 13 to 14 hours a day, trying to get myself help and resolution to a nightmare that some wicked people don't want to end. Sorry for the long rant, but it's necessary to get all the cards out on the table. I think you'd agree that I'm the most honest person you've ever met in your life, but in this situation, disbelief surrounds me, and I'm all alone trying to do 1,000 things at once, and I'm exhausted doing it all. I'm over having to deal with the mess and relive the past every time I have to report or share my story. I've written 7 complete journals about my struggle to get back my rights and freedom, and hope one day to publish and sell them. For the time being, it is online free so that I can use it as documentation of others' crimes, my efforts to get help, to protect myself. I fear the police and I fear the government, as they may try to bring up bogus charges just so I won't be able to share my story and have validity. Thank God I'm clean as a whistle except for one DUI. But until this is resolved, I fear being followed by police and them using entrapment with the program to help them. So every day, I have to face those fears and boldly and bravely do what I need to try and get back everything that's been lost, and a hell of a lot more too. The suits total millions of dollars in damages, and the neighbors, the city, Coldwell Banker, OSU, Netcare, and the FBI are all liable if I can manage to keep myself safe long enough to get help and file the suits. Until then, I'm a tortured man on a lot of people's hit list and run the risk of injury and further loss of freedom every day around the clock. I just want my experience to end, and it's challenging to get that to occur. That is my life because the FBI won't talk to me. You are not allowed by law, by the Constitution, to not treat everybody equally. Sick and tired of the runaround with the police. Sick and tired of being ignored. I'm an American too, but I sure don't feel like one.